Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. In this video, we'll look at how to pronounce some of the names of some March holidays, including Mardi Gras, Purim, Nowruz, and Holi. I had to check the pronunciation of a couple of these. So these are holidays celebrated around the world by different cultures. Some you may celebrate, some not. But you may have seen people talking about them, and you may want to be able to pronounce them correctly. So first off, Mardi Gras. This is the American English pronunciation of all of these, of course. In Mardi Gras, we have the main stress on the gras syllable, and this comes from the French, and then, of course, the Creole of French and English, and the first M-A-R actually does say the R diphthong, so it's just like the word R, and it's similar to March, so you can use that to remember March and Mardi Gras. The S is silent, and the letter I says the E sound, so it's actually very similar to how we say the man's name Marty, in that we use that as a D sound or a flap sound. And then the gra, again, that S is also silent, and the letter A says the ah vowel. The main stress is on gra here. Marty is a little faster, and gra is held a little bit longer. Mardi Gras. Then when we get to Purim or Purim, there's a couple of different pronunciations here. They go along with how we tend to pronounce the word poor in English. So some people say that more with an or vowel. Poor you, or helping the poor. Some say it more with an vowel, poor. So for the holiday Purim, you can either say it with an Purim, or an Purim. Both have first syllable stress, and the letter I says the I sound in Purim. Then when we get to Nowruz, we have a couple of different spellings for this. There's actually a few others. This is I would say a more common spelling, but thinking about the N-O spelling, that comes about because it matches the pronunciation a little bit better. So we don't have an ow sound even though it's spelled like the word now. We have an O in the first syllable, and then an ruse in the second syllable. The ruse syllable is stressed, so to practice this one, you might want to start with saying ruse, Nowruz, so that you have that syllable stress correct. We don't need an American O here. It doesn't need to be a long O ruse, Nowruz, but most Americans will still, any O they'll say with a diphthong O. So you can see in the Persian, it may just have the O, Nowruz. In American, you may hear more of a length and diphthongization of that O, Nowruz. Lastly, we have Holi, which looks like the beginning of holiday or holly to the American. You can think of this, it's the same as our word in English, holy, and that has first syllable stress, the O vowel, and the E, the letter I says the E sound, li, holy. Of course, there are many other holidays in March, St. Patrick's Day, many other international holidays. These are just some of the ones that you may not be familiar with how to pronounce them, so I thought it might be useful to cover them. If you have a request for the Word of the Day series, a name, a holiday, an everyday word, or a word that you find challenging to pronounce, do feel free to leave that in the comments for this video or any of my videos, and I'll add it to my list to cover in a future class. We do have daily Word of the Day classes here on the channel, as well as weekly question and answer classes. Those are on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Seattle time, 12 noon Eastern time. You can join and type your questions in the chat, and I'll answer them for you live. We talk about sounds, words, American accent, anything to help you with your pronunciation in American English, your overall American accent, and fluency and confidence when it comes to speaking English. I hope you'll also check out our online courses on speechmodification.com. They can give you a lot of fundamentals as well as more advanced work on improving your English pronunciation and accent. Thanks so much, those of you who have subscribed to the channel, and especially those who have joined as channel members. I really appreciate your support. Liking, commenting, and sharing the videos is also a great way to support speech modification. Thank you all for doing that for me and for your feedback on videos and what you'd like to see. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com.